Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Vinyl Den, your channel for record collecting by record collectors. I'm Nick. It's Tuesday. It's time to talk about some new releases coming out this Friday, January 20th. There's about 500 titles coming out this week, so we're kind of back to normal, a normal week this week. I got 16 titles I'm going to talk about today. There's a bunch of links down below. Make sure you go check all those out. There's links for the Vinyl Den Facebook group, for the merch page, for the Spotify and Apple Music weekly playlist that we put together, and also the Patreon page. So make sure you go check all that out. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give us the old thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I release new episodes. So like I said in the intro, we're back to normal. The first couple of weeks of the year tend to be kind of thin when it comes to new releases, but we got about 500 that are coming out this week, so a bunch of great stuff. I'm only going to talk about 16 of them, though, so if there's something I don't talk about in the show today, make sure you drop me a comment down below. Let me know what else you're looking forward to. And, in any of the stuff I talk about, if you're unable to find it in your local brick and mortar stores, I'll put links below down in the show notes. Everything's available online. One of the big releases that are coming out this week is something I would love to have on vinyl. It's just out of my price range right now. I can't drop this kind of money on it, but this is Rolling Stones in mono. Huge 16 LP box set of all of their 60s albums. And the cool thing is about this, opposed to some of the stuff that they've reissued over the last few years, is the reissues have been the UK version of a couple of early albums, where this box set has the UK and the US version. So that's really cool. If you take an album like Aftermath, which is a great album, the US version has Painted Black on it. The UK version does not. So that's why what the difference is. I think there's one or two other albums in this box set. They're releasing both the UK and US versions, because some of the more popular tracks are actually on just the US version. So big box set, like I said, 16 LPs. It's all on colored vinyl. Out of Our Heads is the other album that they've got, both the US and UK version. Newly remastered. This, like I said, this is gonna be a big box set. It's about $430 online, so it's not gonna be cheap. It's probably gonna be pushing closer to $500 in stores. Hopefully, I'll be able to get this eventually, but for now, I'll have to pass on that. The next one, this is Bad Brains, Youth Are Getting Restless. This is a live album that they released back in 1990. It's going to run you $23 online. Bad Brains has been reissuing a lot of their stuff over the last year. This is just the next in a long series. But this was recorded in Amsterdam in 87. It's newly remastered by Dave Gardner. I'm sure this thing's going to sound fantastic. But if you're a Bad Brains fan, definitely look forward to that one. I don't think I've ever actually listened to any of their live stuff, so I'll have to stream that one and check it out. This week we're getting a release or reissue of an album I actually talked about a couple of weeks ago, but it got pushed back. This is King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard live in Paris. This was recorded October 14th, 2019. It's going to run you about $60 online. This is part of their official bootleg series, which I've always kind of found that funny. I know King Gizzard releases this stuff, and other labels kind of press it on vinyl. I think if anything comes from the band or comes from the label, I don't know how it's not. I don't know how it's a bootleg, but whatever. It's just one of those funny kind of quirks that I have issues with typically. But this is a triple album. It's on colored vinyl. I don't know what color it is, though. I didn't see a color listing online. I'm not the biggest King Gizzard fan, but I guess I probably should stream this one and check it out. And then the next one is something that I'm not really familiar with this band either, but I'm seeing a lot of their stuff pop up all over the place. But this is Maneskin, Rush. Maneskin is an Italian rock band. The title is actually a Finnish word that means, I think it means moonlight is what it means. But there's two different versions of this available online. There's a red Amazon exclusive that's going to run you about $33. And then there's a standard black version that's going to be $24. So, some interesting music to check out if you're looking for something new. Like I said, over the last couple of weeks, last month or so, I'm starting to see a lot of their stuff kind of pop up. So they're definitely a band I need to check out. This week, the Commodores are releasing Alabama 69. This was recorded 5 years before they released their debut album. So this is kind of cool to hear that early period from the Commodores. It's going to run you about $33 online. And that's going to be on red and gold splatter vinyl. They were still, I think the band members were all still in college at Tuskegee University. I don't know why I had a problem saying that, but they're all in college when they recorded this. So I'm definitely looking forward to checking that one out. And then you've got Everclear, the best of. This was first released back in 2014. It's going to be on black and yellow splatter or blue and white haze vinyl. I think there was just a couple of versions of this that were released last year also. But this is going to run you $33 online. This is a greatest hits package that's re-recorded. So it's all re-recorded material from the band. And it's got some best of stuff. And it also has some covers on here also. The interesting thing about this best of is the band actually released this back in 2011 under a different title. It was originally called, I think it was Return to Santa Monica. Return to Santa Monica is what it was first called. And then a couple of years later, they released it under a different name, the best of or the very best of. So I don't know what the difference is between those two or why they changed the name, but for $33, I'm not a big fan of re-recorded music, so I'll probably pass on that one. I've got a couple of their studio albums, so I probably have all of what I need from Everclear, but it's definitely worth checking out, I think. I'm always interested in these Blue Note Classic Series releases. We got another one coming out this week. This is Grant Green. Grant is Beautiful. It's going to run you $28 online. First released back in 1970. Like I said, it's part of the Blue Note Classic Series. This is an album it wasn't very well received when it was first released. At least the reviews on it weren't that great. Obviously, I wasn't alive when it was released, but kind of looking back at a lot of the reviews. And over the course of the year, a few years, a couple of decades later, people kind of warmed up to the album, but it's very different from what Grant Green had done previously. This was very much into like funk and R&B, so it was definitely a departure from the straightforward jazz stuff that he'd done before. But it's one that I'm not really all that familiar with, so I definitely need to stream that one and check it out. And then this week you've also got Not a Surf, Never Not Together being released or being reissued. This was first released back in 2020 as the band's 9th studio album. This is something else that I'm familiar with the first couple of Not a Surf albums, but really nothing since then. This actually has gotten some really great reviews, so it's also another album that I'm going to go and stream and check out. I really need to go back and really go through the last, probably 6 or 7 Not a Surf albums anyway. The new album from New Found Glory comes out this Friday. This is Make the Most of It. It's going to run you about $33 online. It's their 12th studio album. And this is an all acoustic album. So it's very different than anything they've done before. There's 7 new tracks, and then they've taken 7 of their classics and kind of reimagined them. So it's going to be an interesting listen. It's New Found Glory is one of those bands I'm kind of hit or miss on. I can like some of their stuff. Some of their stuff I can kind of pass on. So I'll definitely stream that one and check that one out. And then you've got, this is a very interesting release. This is Richie Valens, The Hits. It's going to run you about $20 online. This is a Wax Time compilation. So if you're really unfamiliar with Wax Time, some of their stuff can be really hit or miss. I've got a couple of Wax Time releases that sound pretty good and others that, sound like absolute garbage. They take a lot of stuff that's out of copyright and press it and release it. And some of those places they get or they source their music from is kind of questionable. So, you can probably find a better Richie Valens compilation out there from a more official source that probably will sound better or for around that same price. But when it comes to the Wax Time stuff, I always kind of hold off, read reviews before I decided to buy it. But like I said, Richie Valens, I love a lot of his stuff. He wasn't around for very long. He didn't have a very long career, but he did make a lot of great music. And it is a good compilation. They've got a lot of his great tracks on there if you want to check that one out. There's a couple of reissues coming out this week that are just, when I look at the price, I know we always complain about the price of vinyl, but these next 2 releases are so like over the top priced. It's kind of crazy. But the first one, this is the reissue of "Stay What You Are" by Saves the Day. First came out back in 2001. Saves the Day was never a huge band. That's why I was really surprised at the price of this one. This is their third studio album. It's on red and yellow splatter vinyl. It actually looks really cool. I saw the mock-up online. They're like post-hardcore, post-grunge, a little bit of punk, kind of all mixed together. Saves the Day is kind of a band it's kind of hard to pigeonhole into a genre. This is probably their best-known album, but this thing's going to run you about $51 online, which is absolutely crazy for this album. You know, you can knock probably $20 off of that, unless there's something that's in this release that I didn't see online. I didn't see any additional material or anything like that. But just for a straightforward album, you know, double LP on splatter vinyl, it really shouldn't be that much. But like I said, if you're a fan of the band, you know, definitely pick it up if you love that album. And then the next one, this is Seether Disclaimer, first released back in 2002. This was their debut album. This is a triple LP, so it's a little bit different than that Saves the Day release. You know, this is their 20th anniversary release, so I'm guessing it was supposed to come out last year and just got pushed back. But there's two LPs on this. So it's a 3 LP set, but the first LP is just the album, and then there's 2 LPs of additional material. So there's live material on there, there's B-sides on there, there's unreleased material. So you're getting more than what you got with that other release. But this thing's gonna run you about $60 online, which for a triple LP, that's even a lot. I mean, I could see, you know, 45, maybe pushing $50 range, but you know, 60 is kind of a lot even for that release. There's another album that I talked about a few weeks back that actually got pushed back until this week, but this is Enuff's Enough Greatest Hits. This was first released back in 2006. It's on purple splatter vinyl. This is another one of those where I saw the mock-up online. It does look pretty sweet. Enuff's Enough is one of those bands I've long said probably one of the most underrated, very late 80s, very early 90s hair metal bands that, because everything else was going on in the music scene at the time, kind of got pushed under the rug. But they had some really great music. You know, so that's one, you know, I kind of consider maybe picking that one up. And then you get this pretty cool compilation coming out from Music on Vinyl. This is 90s Collected Volume 2. It's going to run you $48 online, so it's a little bit pricier than I'd be probably willing to pay for it. But this is limited to 1,500 copies on purple vinyl, 25 tracks on 2 LPs, so they probably really crammed some stuff on there. But this is hit. I mean, there's hits from a bunch of great 90s bands on here. U2, Kula Shaker, Sheryl Crow, The Verve, Duran Duran, Arrested Development. The list kind of goes on and on. It looks like it's going to be a pretty good compilation, but it's kind of pricey. And sometimes, like I said before, with Music on Vinyl releases, I've always thrown that disclaimer out that a lot of that stuff, especially the more limited stuff, is actually kind of hard to find. And then the last 2 albums on the list are both part of the Rhino Records Start Your Ear Off Right series that they're doing over the month of January. Every week they're just releasing some special albums, colored vinyl that have been out of print for a while. Just some kind of cool stuff to pick up. The first one, this is Hot Tuna Burgers, first released back in 1972. It's billed as a 50th anniversary release, even though last year was its 50th anniversary. And it says it's on colored vinyl, but it doesn't really specify what color it's going to be. This is their debut studio album. And if you're unfamiliar with who Hot Tuna is, it was formed by 3 members of Jefferson Airplane, broke off from the band and started Hot Tuna. They had a couple of hits, I feel like, over the years. I think this is the only album of theirs I think I've ever listened to. It's going to run you $28 online. And then the last one, this is B-52's Whammy, first released back in 83. This is their 3rd studio album. It is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year. That's going to be on green and black splatter vinyl. Whammy Kiss, I think, was kind of a moderate hit, I think, off of this album. You know, some of the early B-52 stuff is actually pretty cool. I love a lot of those earlier albums. This one's gonna run you $28 also, which most of those Start Your Ear Off Right albums do run that $28, $29 range. So, you know, two good albums if you're looking to pick up something new. Well, that's all I got for you today, guys. Thanks for checking the show out. a bunch of great stuff coming out this week. Make sure you drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you're looking forward to. I could definitely drop some serious money this week on records. Just a lot of great stuff. I'm glad we've gotten out of that thin period where there's now a whole lot going on with new releases and reissues, because I feel like over the next couple of weeks, couple of months, we got a bunch of great stuff that's going to be coming out. But let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me the old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. That's all I got. Until next time, keep on spinning. Peace.